Boozed and Confused is a comedy and weird topic podcast. Adult language may be used, probably by me. While our episode topics may be educational in nature, we are not responsible if your children start dropping the F-bomb to their kindergarten class. Listener discretion is advised. Hello,
Hey.
everyone.
Hi.
Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
Welcome back. Welcome back.
Welcome to the shit pod.
What's today? Wednesday?
It is
Oops.
Wednesday. Whoopsie.
Midweek
daisy.
special.
Yeah. It's fine because next week is our 100th episode. So hopefully we'll have some good shit for you. Maybe on time.
It'll be our first one.
Maybe
Probably
not.
be our first one.
Who knows? I'm Carol Ann.
Yep. I'm Matt
And this is Boozed and Confused. Welcome back.
for the 99th time.
For the 99th time, that's
I
right.
got 99 episodes, but
We haven't published a single one on time.
single one on time.
Yeah. Well, all right. Anyways, we've got a Matt episode for you today. But before we get into it, I got a really nice email today, you guys.
What?
Congratulations. Boozed and Confused has made the following top listener charts on Good Pods. Number 62 in the top 100 indie news chart.
We couldn't have gotten like 7 lower.
Nice.
Nice. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, so
That's pretty
thanks
cool.
everyone who
62nd in your hearts.
Yeah, everyone who listens to our shit pod and then takes the time to review it, because then we get cool stuff like that, and just makes us feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Just waiting to get my little like plaque from them.
Yeah.
Number 62.
Yeah. So yeah, I just wanted to share that. So thank you.
Hey, thanks.
All right, before we get into Matt's episode today, as he rolls his eyes, I will try to go very fast through the housekeeping items.
We got to hire that guy who does all the commercials for like law, and it's like join today, and it's like blah, 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 blah.
Oh, yeah, to
You know,
just,
like
or
super
like an
fast.
auctioneer.
Yeah, super fast.
Yeah,
Let's
no,
just
number
get-
25, number 25. Yeah, I can't even do it. All right, so the first one is we're on all your favorite social media. We're on Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitter. And I haven't checked any shit on YouTube in probably a while, and I should do that. So if you've commented there, I'm sorry. Instagram and Twitter are the best ways to reach us. Or if social media is not really your thing, because you're like, what's the fucking metaverse anyways? You can reach us on social. No, you can't. You can reach us aside from social media on email at boostandconfusedpodcast@gmail.com.
Yeah, we don't have any property in the metaverse yet,
No.
but according to those super wealthy podcasters, that's the next
That's
frontier
that's it.
of
Yeah.
wealth.
Yeah, maybe we'll all sit in a room together virtually, and you can listen to our shit pod, and then we can watch you leave like 25 seconds in. Oh, I would love that.
I'm going to buy
That'd be great.
Paris. I'm just going to buy all of Paris in the metaverse.
All right, and the next piece is if you like the pod and you want to support us, the best way that you could do that is by leaving a review and or subscribing and following wherever you get your podcasts. And as per my last email, you can see why it makes a difference. So really appreciate it. And the best part is if you leave us a review or follow or whatever, and you take a screenshot and you send it to us, we'll send you some Boozed and Confused stickers in the mail for free to wherever you are in the world.
Anywhere.
Anywhere.
We've got lots of stamps.
Yeah.
We went to
A lot
Costco.
of stamps. I know USPS is hiking their prices up, but long live USPS.
We've got those forever stamps.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter what we spent on them then. They're still good now.
Yeah. And let's see, what's the last one? What are you drinking?
We are both drinking from the same brewery. This is a Deschutes Farm Stand Fresh Mango IPA with real mango juice. It's got the juice. It's decent. It's decent. If I'm gonna have an IPA, which I'm cool with IPAs most of the time, I like to have a hint of fruit in there.
Yeah, it's nice.
But I'm not going to lie. I'm pretty sure if I was blindfolded and I tried each of these beers, I don't know if I could tell the difference.
I would absolutely not be able to tell the difference. I'm drinking one that's fresh squeezed IPA, 6.4% ABV, impossibly juicy.
Can I quickly test yours?
Yeah, sure. Here you go.
As I reach across the table. Okay, so here's the taste test. Okay, there's actually a difference.
Is there?
Yeah. You want to try the orange one?
I do.
We're
actually.
gonna do the orange one.
Oh, because yours is like
It's
very
a little bit
mango-y.
lighter than yours, but I take heavier pulls.
Mm. Yeah, I think that one is different just
That is
because the
different.
mango is so strong.
I like when the fruit comes through the bitter.
Hints of mango.
It's a trash can, you wanker.
All right, well, I guess we can just go ahead and get on into it.
Oh yeah, sure.
Since it's you.
It's kind of cool that you brought up the metaverse, because, well, what's happening with the metaverse?
It's a
what's going
massive
on?
failure, and I think Mark Zuckerberg keeps like digging his heels
Zuckerberg.
in the ground, and yeah, I think Facebook and Meta just went through some layoffs, and I think it's just like a massive financial failure, but I don't really know what the point is of continuing.
You see, like I feel like a couple months ago, like we were really missing out on crypto, NFTs. Like genuinely was like, oh, this is like.
I still have my AMC stock though.
Oh yeah, we held the line. I think we're down a few dollars, but we're gonna keep holding. No, but the metaverse is essentially this new world that we can put ourselves into. I don't know if it's actually going to happen. I'm kind of cool if it doesn't.
Yeah, I'm fine if it doesn't. It reminds me of that Black Mirror episode.
Wait. Which one?
I don't know. Isn't there like an episode where
they have commentary on how we use technology?
What is it's that
That's
one
all the
episode that's like
episodes.
heartbreaking, but they're in like a virtual reality.
In a virtual reality.
All right, hold on.
Wait, is this the one where the dude plays the video games?
No.
I like that.
Pause. Okay, we're back.
It
It's
was San Junipero.
Yeah.
It was
I'm
San
sure everyone
Junipero.
listening is like, you guys are fucking idiots.
My favorite one is the Star Trek one.
Yeah, those are really
I
good
really
one.
like that one.
Yeah.
It's got one of the McPoyles from Always Sunny, and he has no wiener, and I think it's funny. But yeah, San Junipero. But that one's more like spoilers. 3, 2, 1. You die, and your mind is uploaded to a server. In the metaverse,
Yeah.
we can just put on our Facebook goggles and go look at really crappy designs of stuff. It's like the Eiffel Tower, but it's just not the same.
Someone took a panorama of the Eiffel Tower and it
And
skipped
they
3
sneezed.
frames.
They sneezed halfway through it, but it looks great if you close one of your eyes.
Yeah, exactly.
Regardless.
Yeah,
Regardless.
irregardlessly.
It makes me sad that like Webster has added the word irregardless to the dictionary.
Well, that's how language works, man.
And when you define irregardless, the word means regardless.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's as a teacher, it's like a small defeat. I think metaverses might be like a bad example of what we're talking about, but it is a sign that we are trying to move in this direction. There's been some really cool books which became movies that were okay. Ready Player One, which is an astounding book, is a very visually stimulating movie. I think the cat's out and about. We're not gonna cut this out. I'm in
No, we're past the days of spending hours upon hours of editing.
We used to edit so much.
Yeah. So, we used to edit. Yeah, we did.
Well,
used to edit.
You know, it still affected me. Anyways, Ready Player One was, I guess, kind of like the metaverse where you would log into a game and you had like an avatar and you could experience everything in this world, but it was still like you directly controlling it. I think more like Skyrim, where it's an entire world and there's all these NPCs living their little NPC lives, and you're just kind of doing stuff in this little contained world. Like 20-something years ago, a really great movie came out. It was called The Matrix.
I don't know if I've ever seen it.
No. I have to read the notes. Here because I have a whole section about this.
Okay.
Right? You've seen The Matrix. Tell me you've seen The Matrix. It's been like over 20 years.
No,
Carol Ann,
I don't.
Keanu Reeves. I'm making a note here because I assume you haven't seen it, and I'm going to read this calling you out for not seeing it. But we'll watch Swedish horror sci-fi films that we've never heard of.
That I've heard of for 3 minutes, and I'm like, hell yeah, let's watch it.
But the Matrix movies,
it's just not interesting to
Oh,
me.
it's so interesting.
I don't care. I'd rather watch Existential
You'd
Dread.
rather watch
Swedish.
Aniara.
Yeah.
You'd rather watch by the way, great movie. Will destroy you. Don't watch it.
Don't watch it.
Don't watch it. But the Matrix movies, there's 4 now. We watched a really small bit of number 4 in Ireland at that one place because they had like a nice HBO login or something. But the premise of The Matrix is Keanu Reeves, who is playing a man named Keanu Reeves. He's pulled out of his normal life from what we assume is reality, only to learn that humans are kept inside of like a simulation, and their human bodies are just kind of like, spoilers. I don't care, Carol Ann, you haven't seen it. It's been like 20-something years. I think they're just like fuel for like the machines which run everything and kind of just like harvest humans as like fuel for something. Okay. But Keanu Reeves' character is ripped out of the Matrix and is made conscious of what reality truly is, and then he has the freedom to go in and out of the Matrix to do cool kung fu moves, wear sunglasses, trench coats, do front flips and back flips, and his mouth vanishes for a while. It's a really, I mean, if anything, it's a visually stunning film for the time period that it came out in. It was before I was a freshman in high school, so it was like 2002, even like 2000 even. I'm not sure. It's a great movie. I haven't seen the 4th one, but the first one's fine. Either way, it's a pretty neat trilogy. Nope, there's 4. A quadrilogy.
That doesn't sound right. That sounds like you just made that up.
Quadrilogy. No, I think that sounds pretty good. Quadrilogy. But everyone should at least watch the first one. Everyone. As I'm staring,
you're like
daggers,
staring into my
daggers
soul.
at you. So in terms of putting ourselves into this movie world, we are living in a simulation, and we probably won't have the chance to get ourselves pulled out into whatever real reality is. But I'm going to take a little twisty turn from the Matrix to a really awesome subreddit. Have you ever heard of Glitch in the Matrix?
Yes.
Do you follow it as well?
I don't follow it. I just see it pop up from time to time.
I definitely follow it. It's one of my favorite subreddits because I like to entertain. I like to entertain that thought that it's more than just sci-fi, more than just poo-poo science. It's people are saying things about this concept, and it's a bit alarming.
I hope the person running my simulation doesn't decide, like, she needs to go to grad school or something really fucking stupid like that.
I'm going to put her impossibly in debt, and then I'm going to stop playing.
She gets a gambling problem.
It's like The Sims. It's like, I'm going to put her in the pool and take out the ladders.
Yeah, see, that's why I don't go swimming, you know?
Just in case the ladders
Just in
vanish.
case.
Right. So I do follow Glitch in the Matrix. There's like actually a number of these subreddits. It's with the exact same name. The one that I follow has underscores in between the words.
naturally.
That's the best one.
distinction,
Over
yeah.
95,000 followers. I am but one.
Mm-hmm.
There are other ones, and they're like a lot smaller and don't really have. They're more like, haha, look, it's two people who look kind of the same. Look at them. They're doing the same thing. Isn't this silly? The other one is more like accounts and like written stories.
Okay.
So, but you would call an event that happens in front of your eyes that you observe and you cannot explain it in any way using reasonable logic or reasoning. That would be like a glitch in the matrix. So like you're playing a video game, you're playing Skyrim, and the NPCs start like flying around or like T-posing. Remember T-posing?
No.
It was a meme. It was a thing that people did before the dark times of 2020. I miss the T-posing meme. Like, on your own time, just look up T-posing meme.
Yeah.
People would just stand there like this with their arms out, like they were an avatar that was like just glitched out.
Oh, I see. Okay.
If we ourselves, because this is what we're getting to, is that there's an argument that we are actually people in a simulation, and we are like characters who are being run through a really advanced computer, and we are just stuck, and we'll never know. And it's going to get pretty heavy because this is a me episode.
Of course it is.
But what if the T-posing meme of like 2018 was actually a glitch in our game, in our computer system, where the game writers wrote a code that made us think that it was a prank when really they were T-posing because they were actually glitching out and had to cover loose ends.
Yeah, I would absolutely buy into that.
So if we're living in a simulation at all, strangely enough, there are physicists, astrophysicists, and philosophers, like known, like not just some like crazy guy who's like wearing a shoe on his head.
Not just like an armchair philosopher who did like 2 classes of society college courses at NYU or some shit.
It's not some clever tall guy with a beard who has a Twitter account for his French bulldog.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Right? It's not that. But there are scientists who are putting like heavy thought into this, that we are in fact a simulated existence.
I feel like we've done... So I know before we started this episode, we were trying to figure out if we've done anything on the Matrix before. And I don't think we've done a specific Matrix episode. I think we've talked about different theories of like parallel universes and all that other stuff.
I've done parallel universe, yeah.
I just like, what created the simulation?
Something more advanced than us. I do kind of get into this domino effect of things. And so we'll get there. The question is, does it matter that we are a simulated entity? Maybe we're not simulated. Maybe we're just truly... I mean, I lean that I'm real. That's how I lean. I'm not actually...
That's exactly what a simulation would say.
I am real. I'm a real boy. So, like, are there ways to confirm our genuine existence or our fake simulated existence? So we'll take a quick look into like our version of The Matrix, like a crappier version of a really good movie. I think it was actually 1999 that it came out.
Can I be Keanu Reeves?
No, you can be Trinity.
I don't know who that is. That's fine.
Oh my. It's a 1999 film, by the way. Okay, I just did a little quick search. So yeah, like I was saying, there's this great subreddit, Glitch in the Matrix. I would argue that some of the stories come up as like wannabe writers or like creative writers.
Yeah, I feel like you find that shit all over Reddit.
They just kind of use it as like I'm gonna totally explore this area. I mean, there's so much stuff. There's so much
Yeah.
fun stuff on there. But they share experiences or pictures about things that are just a little too weird for like a normal explanation. I love it. I'm all over it sometimes. Also, my students, they sometimes get really into the idea that we're in a simulation, and we'll be at like class or like at practice or even at a couple of our games. They would be running around the field or in the classroom just going like, "Wake up."
Yeah, no, you told me that after
Wake
one
up.
of the days you came home, and I said, that's fucking weird.
It's so funny.
It's so weird.
So as if someone was trying to wake you up from this realm into the actual one. Or they even argued that the sun is actually some kind of like camera watching us, and we can't look at it because then we'll figure it out, so we just can't look at it.
Well, that's what sunglasses are for, bruh.
I don't know. I can never look at it long enough because it hurts my eyes.
Yeah, same. I actually have a hard time even being outside without sunglasses, even if I'm like looking at the ground, because I have such sensitive eyes.
You're a cave dweller.
Yes, that probably also has a very large impact. I don't see.
You're like a hobbit, but like a
see
hardfoot.
daylight.
You're a hardfoot. Oh, he got eaten by a mountain lion. Isn't that funny? So I'm getting off the rails a little bit, but we're going to dive into the simulation hypothesis. It's a theory posed as it currently exists back in 2003 by a Swedish philosopher named Nick Bostrom. The thought process that asks, are we living in a computer-generated simulation? So, mind you, it's already been like absolutely crapped on by many other scientists and thinkers. It's been called pseudoscience, and someone even called it late-night drunken pub talk.
That sounds great.
But what kind of pod would we be if we didn't look at
exactly. If we
at
didn't
this crap?
entertain it.
But, I mean, go back to ancient Greece, right? You've got the great thinker Plato, right, talking about how we perceive realities in his story, The Allegory of the Cave. I'm looking at you.
Yeah. I watched it on Netflix.
In the Allegory of the Cave, Plato is exploring these people who basically their entire life has been in this cave, and the only thing they see is shadows of things from the outside world being put into the cave. So like there's an outside light shining in, all they see are shadows. I'm not saying that we're living in a cave or anything, but like what are they doing out there? Like why are they showing these people these images? It's ancient Greece. They've got a lot of cool things. Greece was great.
We've never been.
We made Western civilization.
Yeah, well, how's that economy doing?
I think they're doing better now. Things aren't on fire anymore as much. Anyways, the simulation theory argues the following. And so this is from the 2003 article that Bostrom wrote titled, "Are You Living in a Computer Simulation?" And this is just him. This is a small snippet from his article. And it goes like this. Many works of science fiction, as well as some forecasts by serious technologists and futurologists, predict that enormous amounts of computing power will be available in the future. Let us suppose for a moment that these predictions are correct. One thing that later generations might do with their super powerful computers is run detailed simulations of their forebearers or of people like their forebearers, because their computers would be so powerful they could run a great many such simulations. Suppose that these simulated people are conscious, as they would be if the simulations were sufficiently fine-grained and if a certain, quite widely accepted position in the philosophy of mind is correct. Then it could be the case that the vast majority of minds like ours do not belong to the original race, but rather to people simulated by the advanced descendants of an original race. So like Skyrim, right? We play Skyrim, you load into Skyrim, you've got who's that guy who was like, have you ever been to the Cloud District? Of course you haven't. Nassim?
I don't know.
I think it's Nassim. You always put him in a soul gem, you kill him, you put him in a soul gem. You know, his existence is like walking that one path in Whiterun and just being like a prick. But what this postures is that in the future, you know, a game like Skyrim made in 2011?
Yes.
11?
2011.
Like we as people who enjoy video games, like the games that they're making now are bigger and bigger and bigger, and the people in the games have more and more and more dialogue and interaction, and seemingly like not like linear rail paths. They just do stuff. Same thing with like The Sims. This is arguing that something even more advanced will come eventually, as one can assume with technology advancing, that they can fine-tune every little thing in a computer-generated environment, and that would be us. That's what he's arguing.
Do you know where my mind is going right now?
It's like the monkey climbing
No.
the symbols. Oh, Matt's doing it again.
No, I'm thinking of who's the AI that they like put on Twitter, and then she was like,
oh, she became a Nazi
within 30 minutes. She was like, "Yep,
Nazi.
I'm a Nazi."
Yeah, it wasn't Smarter Child. That was like AIM.
That's AIM.
No, we talked about this.
Yeah, we did. We had a whole episode. So my mind is going to like, if you theoretically, we did another episode as well of like AI being sentient.
Well, when you do 99 episodes,
Yeah.
how many more topics are there?
Shut up. The AI that we had that was that we had talked about, where one of the developers or the creators had claimed that this AI was becoming sentient. Do you remember that conversation?
I did that episode.
I
think that was Google.
Yes.
Yeah.
Theoretically, could we not have an entire village of like AI run robots that are becoming sentient, but they more or less are actually controlled from like a human controlled control panel? Would that not be the same thing in their minds of like they believe that they are living a real world, but in reality they're running a simulation run by humans?
Okay, you entirely lost me there. You've got a village of machines, like a village of robots.
Yes.
Who think they're real boys.
Yes.
But they're actually being run by... So they're unaware of their simulatedness.
Yes. They believe that they are real, but in reality they are being controlled by humans.
In the real reality, they're really being really controlled. It sounds just like Cylons with some more layers on top.
I mean, like, are we not like mere steps away in history from being able to do something like that?
It would seem that's the case, yeah, that we're constantly approaching, closer and closer. And Bostrom is arguing that, if we are the predecessors of something that is much larger and stronger than what we currently are, then he's arguing that it's possible that they're going to try and, look at how we lived our lives, and they're going to run simulations. And I mean, I have Skyrim on my PC and my Xbox, and you have it on, like, we all have these consoles that are entertaining to play on. Who's to say that people aren't just playing like Earth 2000s edition? It's shit.
So shit.
Chaos edition. Survival mode.
Someone's doing a speed run to destruction via climate change.
And maybe we're just existing, and then they just pop in to play the game whenever they feel like, oh, let's see what Matt's doing. oh, he's doing that thing again with the pod. I'll come back in 15 minutes.
Okay, see, 15. I'll see you in 45 minutes.
It's mine are never short. Anyways, back onto things here. So Nick Bostrom has a conclusion, and that is that it is possible to argue, because he's a philosopher. He's not like, an astrophysicist. He's just saying, thinking-wise, it's possible to argue that if what I read earlier were the case, that there's someone who comes after us and is just simulating to see how we did things back then, we would be rational to think that we are likely among the simulated minds rather than among the original biological ones. Therefore, if we don't think that we are currently living in a computer simulation, we are not entitled to believe that we will have descendants who will run lots of such simulations of their predecessors. So we're saying, no, I'm real. We are, in a sense, saying that our future descendants, long down the line, would not be able to simulate something this realistic.
Yeah. Interesting. Okay.
When, frankly, Skyrim's off the table now, because unless you run like a million mods on it, it's going to look like a clunky little game. I love that game. My favorite game of all time. But there are games getting, the sports games, like these people's faces look so real. It's getting harder and harder to determine the genuine person's face and their like computer game version. It's getting harder. The graphics are phenomenal. The hair.
At one point, I thought Cristiano Ronaldo was in our basement, to be honest, when you were playing FIFA.
Hey, I never play as his team. Well, no, now he's on my team. And
yeah, of course.
He can go wherever he wants. Anyways, so we're starting to wrap up here with not a dilemma, but a trilemma. That's right, a trilemma. We ain't got no time for dilemmas. We've got a trilemma. Bostrom proposed a trilemma, which is a difficult choice to make from 3 options, not 2. He called this the simulation argument. It does not directly argue that humans live in a simulation. Instead, his trilemma argues that one of 3 unlikely seeming propositions is almost certainly true. And here they are. Number 1, the fraction of human-level civilizations that reach a post-human age, that is, one capable of running high-fidelity ancestor simulations, is very close to 0. Number 2, the fraction of post-human civilizations that are interested in running simulations of their evolutionary history or variations thereof is very close to 0. The third option, the fraction of all people with our kind of experiences that are living in a simulation is very close to 1. So it's a 1 or a 0. That's what he's going by. It's a 1 or a 0. It's close to 1. It's close to 0. The trilemma points out that a technologically mature post-human civilization would have enormous computing power, even if a tiny percentage of them were to run these ancestor simulations, these like high-fidelity simulations of ancestral life that would be indistinguishable from reality to the simulated ancestor. The total number of simulated ancestors, or Sims, that would be us, we're the Sims, in the universe, or multiverse if it exists, would greatly exceed the total number of actual ancestors. So pretty much, if they can get their gaming machine to get their disc of Human Earth 2000 edition, and there's like 1,000 of those games running, that would mean like 1,000 of these simulations happening. So where does that leave us? Where does that leave us?
Look, at this point, I don't even fucking know if I'm real anymore. Like, pod topics like this make me like, damn, do I really even have to go to work tomorrow? What is the meaning of any of this?
Yeah, I'm right there with you. But it leaves us with some big name famous people jumping on this question bandwagon train thing.
Is it Keanu Reeves?
No, it's our best friend Elon Musk.
God, you know what? No. Okay. Elon Musk, if you've made it this far in the episode, Elon Musk is a piece of shit who spouts Russian propaganda and shouldn't be trusted. There we go.
Elon, if you can hear this and you disagree, send us like $1 million on Zelle. You can figure it out. So I'm going to try and do my best Elon impression, because this is a quote from him talking about simulation theory. If you assume any rate of improvement at all, games will eventually be indistinguishable from reality before concluding that it's most likely we're in a simulation. He also stated that
hold on, let's back up a little bit. That was like an off-key Ben Shapiro.
Hypothetical. He said in an interview in 2016 that there's a 1 in billions chance that we're in a base reality. Even Neil deGrasse Tyson, like, you know him, right?
Yes,
the
of course.
Super fun scientist. On his only slightly more popular than our pod series, Star Talk, he, while talking it through, he gives a better than 50-50 odds that we are in a simulation. And he adds, I'm going to try to do my deGrasse Tyson. I wish I could summon a strong argument against the simulation theory, but I can't find one.
So the idea that he has then is that without proof that we are not living in a simulation, it's more likely that we are living in a simulation.
I don't think it's that simple, but
we'll pretend like it is.
I've got
when we have Neil on the pod next week, we'll
so
clarify
cool
with him.
That'd be so cool. So, on this show, Star Talk, he interviews. So one of his main co-hosts is named Chuck Nice. He's this hilarious comedian, and kind of having this like scientist comedian banter is just brilliant. They also have great chemistry. Chuck Nice, on an episode of Star Talk, they're talking about this theory. So Tyson shares that his friend J. Richard Gott, who's a professor of astrophysical sciences at Princeton, made him aware of a strong objection to the simulation hypothesis. Pretty much the objection points out that the common trait that all hypothetical, high-fidelity simulated universes possess is the ability to produce high-fidelity simulated universes. And so since our current world does not possess this ability, it would mean that either we are the real universe, and therefore we have not yet made simulated universes, or we are the last in a very long chain of simulated universes, an observation that makes the simulation hypothesis seem less probable. And Tyson, at the end of all that, says, that changes my life. So we're either the real one and haven't gotten that far yet, or we're just like the newest simulation and haven't gotten there yet ourselves.
I don't think any of this really explains what I should be doing with my AMC stock, or if I should still keep paying the mortgage.
We're going to hold the line.
You know,
we're going to hold the line. Hopefully they pull out the cartridge, blow on it, put it back in, everything's perfect. So in the end, if the simulation thing is really going to be a thing, the simulation would most likely create perceptions of reality on demand rather than simulate reality all the time, right? It's like playing a game and you see like how things don't render fast enough. Like you see like, oh, like that should be a tree in like 15 seconds, and then boom, there the tree pops up. I was actually watching a video on how they made Breath of the Wild, one of the newest Zelda games. and how they like mix the rendering rate for things and it still looks beautiful. They're talking about how reality has these like seemingly objective numbers that just happen to work. Like, why those numbers? So what is the fastest speed anything can go that we know of right now? What's the fastest?
The speed of light.
Speed of light. Exactly right. Ding, ding, ding. So, like a video game optimized to render only parts of a world to certain players, maybe that's why they argue in Star Talk that we can't travel faster than the speed of light. Because if we could, we'd be able to get to another galaxy before they can program it and render it.
Oh, shit.
As if the programmer put a limit on how fast we can go. Which, if you watch that movie, Aniara, you know is very slow.
Yeah, that movie is really fucking depressing.
Yeah, don't watch. No, do watch it.
It's a great movie. It's just like, ooh, if you know it's depressing going into it, then maybe you'll just have a different experience.
Yeah, you thought it was gonna, it's gonna be like a monster in space. No, the monster was existence.
The humans.
It was existence and the captain. But yeah, so that's the simulation theory. Are we just NPCs poorly made into a slowly crashing game, or are we just waiting until we can make our own simulation?
I am going to put a poll out today.
Are we in a simulation?
Are we in a simulation?
Are we humans or are we Chuck E. Cheese animatronics waiting for the day to start to sing about pizza?
Oh, that brings me back to the Goofy movie. I would never want that to be my existence. Thank you. Well, that was a great episode, and now I have a lot of thinking to do. I will definitely be talking about this with my therapist. So thanks so much, everybody.
Thanks.
Yeah. Well, I'll, look out for the poll.
Log in next time.
Yeah, log in for your daily simulations.
You get 5 XP for this.
Oh my god. All right, well, see you next week for our 100th episode. Don't know what we're doing yet, but
wonder what it's going to be.
All right. Bye.
Bye.